I have been listening to this little record player. It was my grandson's, and then he chose this record player himself. I mean, personally myself, I wouldn't have chose it because it was quite expensive, and I knew, that wasn't going to be good speakers. It does have plugs in the back where you can plug some other speakers in if you buy some. But then I bought him a Lennox hi-fi system with the double cassette, a turntable, and a 3-disc CD player. Anyhow, so this actually doesn't go very loud. I'm not going to annoy my neighbours, for example. Not like a few years ago when I bought my little Sharp Mini hi-fi that I'd bought from the men's shed at the Victor Harbour, at the church there, the Uniting Church on Victoria Street, Newland Uniting Church, because we do have another Uniting Church in Victor Harbour. And I put it on, and I had it really loud, and I had cassette tapes on. I was listening to cassette tapes, and I had it really loud, and my neighbour across the street, David, toddled over and was banging on my door telling me to turn it down. I mean, yeah, so this isn't going to be, doesn't go very loud, but nonetheless, now I'm older now, and I can understand now, because I guess that now I'm older as well. I don't like loud music as much either. Anyhow, so I've got some more records because I sold all my records, and now I'm buying back records, and even buying back records that I sold. I can, so what? Who knows why I sold my records? I'm just muddling through my life, and after my beloved daughter died, who would have turned 31, I keep saying 30, and she would have turned 31 in June, but she died when she was 23. In that photograph, she's 22, and that was Easter weekend. It is a real, struggle. You nearly go crazy, It's, been 7 years now, but those first years, it's just so hard. Anyhow, so I was doing all sorts. Anyhow, so I started buying these records back, and I've got these from eBay, and I got 3. They're quite expensive to post. I know that from when I was selling records myself. So, so I look for the ones where they might be selling of 3. Even myself, when I was selling them, they're quite expensive to post them. Oh, I think it's gone dark. Put this on. I haven't plugged this one in, so it might go off. Anyhow, I bought these sherbet ones, and the records inside are absolutely perfect. Not a mark on them. And I have listened to only one of them. I happened to get a lot of records on the same day. Sherbet was an Australian band, very successful in the 1970s. I don't believe they had any international success. They didn't have US success. And Daryl Braithwaite was the lead singer. So these Sherbet records are in perfect condition. One of them is 1974, one's 1975, and one's 1976. This is the one I've listened to. I listened to this today, and they fold out and show you the picture like that. And the records themselves in very good condition. They're inside the covers are a bit, these are very old records, but inside the actual record, absolutely perfect. Now I cleaned everything I got with the record cleaner. My grandson's got a lot of records too, but a lot of his are brand new. Yeah, sold all my records and buying him brand new. But That's what life is about, is that? Look at this. Life is for living. Life is for living. And then there's this one too. Did I open up that one? There's that one. And I don't believe I had any sherbet in my collection of records. I don't think I did. This is the earlier one, this one. So this must be 1974. And I noticed they got a lot of makeup on here, but then seem to have ditched the makeup for the other ones. They don't have the makeup on. So they're the sherbet ones that I bought. I think I paid about $35, and that included the postage. Anyhow, and then I've got 3 Bay City Roller ones, and yes, 2 of them are replacements of ones I had exactly. I bought them again. So I had this one, and I've replaced it. It tells you their names there. Now this one here, he was my sister's favourite, and she's older than me. So I wasn't like a huge Bay City Rollers fan, because I still played with toys then in the 1970s. I still played with Barbie dolls and Cindy's, and I watched cartoons. And then I got this one, which I had my sister's original, and I sold it in my record collection. And now I've brought it back again. This one is a good one. Yeah. And my sister even had a tartan outfit. She must have been about 12 in primary school. So I haven't listened to them yet. I've cleaned all the records myself. I mean, some of them were clean anyway. And then I've got this one. I've never had this one before. And I got this record. I used to listen to this one when I was growing up because my brother had it. Had this exact one with a picture disc. He would still have it because he still has everything. He's 11 years older than me. It did come in a different bag, but I chucked it out. It was a bit grubby looking. But the record, I've listened to this. It plays perfectly. The record does. And the Leif Garrett one, Leif, not Leif. Here's Leif Garrett. That one I got on eBay as well. I've listened to that, and I've got Leif Garrett on cassette as well. Not this one on cassette, a different one. And then I've gone op shopping, and for a couple of dollars, I bought this Perry Como, which is also a replacement of one that I had. So I bought this, and that was one of my dad's favourites, Perry Como. And sometimes if we went on road trips, it would be played on cassette in the car. So I do like Perry Como, and it also reminds me of my dad because he did enjoy that music. I got this one for $1. One of Dad's favourites, also Nat King Cole. I haven't listened to this yet. I've cleaned it. This was from an op shop. There isn't like a mark going across one of the records, but sometimes that doesn't necessarily mean the record won't play. And it's got a little bibliography, I think you call it, on the back. And I've got a couple of these from the op shops. I did have some classical music and some opera and some of these musical things in my collection, which I sold, so I've replaced a couple of these. Jeanette MacDonald and Nelson Eddy, and I love those movies as well. I used to love watching the movies when I was growing up. I watched all the musicals that my mum enjoyed watching, and I used to love watching that Bill Collins' Golden Years of Hollywood. So these were very famous in the 1930s, and they made a lot of films. Jeanette MacDonald and Nelson Eddy. So they were from the op shop. That one was $3. And this one, I think it was $2. And then down there is just my children's records that I kept, the Patsy Biscoe and a few children's records. Anyhow, So, and I know you're not supposed to stack records like that, but it won't stack the other way. The other way, you're meant to stack the records on, you're meant to stack them on the side like that. Anyhow, and yes, I've got some more coming in the post, but yes, I've got to tell myself I've got to get savings though, not just buy things, but and I'm getting some tyres for my car as well on Monday. I've got to get some new tyres and a wheel alignment for my Falcon. The Falcon that was my friend's that I bought when he died. I bought it off his son. And also in the post, I haven't listened to them yet, and I had these on record. I had this on record, and I sold it. So this U2 War is excellent. I haven't listened to it yet, but I had it on record. So I've got 3 U2. I used to love U2 as well. Back then in the in the 1980s, I used to love U2. So I've got a few of those as well. This isn't new. I've had it a while. I've been listening to this Phil Collins Greatest Hits. And I got this from Op Shop, from Adra, for $1. Peter Allen, and I was listening to it the other day, and then I was crying. Yeah, it made me cry, because it just made me cry. It was quite young when he died, and it's and then I googled about him, and I've also watched I do know a little bit about Peter Allen. I've watched there's a good TV biography about him that I watched a while ago. He did write a lot of songs and co-wrote a lot of songs, and songs that he didn't sing. And I thought it was sad that his father commit suicide when Peter Allen was only 14 years old. His father commit suicide by gun. So I thought that was real sad. Anyhow, so apart from feeling sad about Peter Allen, I quite enjoyed listening to the music. And in my car, I'm listening to Madonna, and I'm really enjoying. I didn't know that I would. I'm enjoying the collection, the CD I bought also off eBay. I think it's called Something to Remember, and it's a collection of ballads by Madonna. And I've just really enjoyed listening